Welcome back to the coverage of the European Championship 2019. It ends with 19, which is very fitting because we have 1,900 players exactly after all the late enrollments have been registered for this event, which makes this the largest European Championship in history. We're just breaking record after record with the largest YCS in Düsseldorf and now the largest European Championship, which means that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is doing really, really well in Europe. Part of the reason for that is the French market just booming like crazy. They had the largest national championship in all of Europe this year, which was somewhat surprising because most people thought that Germany is going to have the largest nationals. But no, the French duelists showed, no, we're back in full force. We did have a European champion 3 years ago, who we also interviewed. You're going to see that later on the stream. And now they have one of their finest guys here in the feature match. So give it up for Louis Andries. Bonjour. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
Quite stress. Sorry, I'm very bad English speaker. I apologize for this.
No problem. I just said that the French players, there's more and more of you guys again. It seems like it's really successful in France, the game right now. What is the reason, in your opinion? Why are all the guys coming back?
In France, we have a lot of YouTubers which product videos on YouTube, Twitch, and it's a good thing for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm very proud about the French community. Last month we beat the national records, and it's a very good thing.
Okay, so you basically do a lot of community building thanks to the guys that are showing stuff on YouTube. You're also one of the YouTubers, right?
Sorry?
You also have your own YouTube channel.
Yes, I started on my YouTube in the last 2 years, and I saw
lots of people asking for it.
Yes, and the people ask more and more and more Yu-Gi-Oh! And so I'm very happy to be here for first, but it's a very pleasure to produce Yu-Gi-Oh! Content.
Okay. Where can they find you? It's the most important part. Where can they find you on YouTube?
On YouTube, my channel is Super Zulu, and on Twitch, I'm an entertainer for a French web TV. Name is lustream.fr, and I have a weekly show focused on Yu-Gi-Oh! Every Tuesday. And
I can tell you're very busy. All right, please have a seat.
Yeah.
Good luck in the feature match. His opponent is Rafael Cavallini. Hey. Hi.
Hi.
I claim that your name sounds Italian. Marcello said that's not true, but you do have Italian roots.
Yes, my great-grandfather.
Okay, but you're not from Italy, as we can hear.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
The UK?
Okay. And you also played at the UK National Championship?
Yes.
How did that go for you?
It went okay. I also had a feature match at UK Nationals against another YouTuber, so this is a bit like deja vu.
Okay. How did the feature match go at the UK Nationals?
Oh, I won the feature match, yeah.
Oh, so now you're going into this with confidence, I guess.
Hopefully I can replicate that.
All right. How did you prepare for this event?
I did some testing. I'm usually more heavy on theory than playing, which can be double-sided.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you feeling confident about playing in the feature match? I mean, you have been there before.
More confident, but still nervous, obviously, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Good luck to you too. Please also have a seat. And now the all-important die roll. Some people say it sometimes decides games. Let's see who's going to be allowed to go first. If you would please kindly roll the die. That's 8. And that's a bit less. So you can decide who goes first.
I go first.
Okay. Yeah, Louis Andries wants to go first. With that, the stage has been set. Our players are about to get started. Let's take it away, guys. Marcello Barberi and Daniel Neville.
Welcome to round 2, guys. As Oliver was saying, we got the final numbers, which is actually incredible that it's actually
1,900
like
players. The largest
0, like
European Championship ever. We're only 200 behind US nationals.
And it is absolutely incredible. It's once again in Utrecht. This place is very easy to reach for most players, and that's why we're not surprised, especially to see these many Germans.
For sure.
We showed you last round a rough estimate of the deck breakdown, but now we can show you first of all the country breakdown for you guys, which, as predicted, is going to be basically dominated by Germany.
Yes.
As you can see, yesterday Germany kind of dominated the playoff with Rafael Neven showing the Netherlands is still kicking things off, but as Oliver was saying, look at second place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've seen France so represented at events in quite a long time. So this is really great to see.
It is absolutely the first time I see France being number 2. It's usually Italy, and I'm surprised it fell off that much.
Yeah.
France, it is back at its peak, at its prime, I want to say, and it is also due to some entertainments. Super Zulu almost has 120,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is very high for Yu-Gi-Oh creators.
Yeah. The streaming that he's been doing gets like massive numbers. I've seen him streaming with 6,000 viewers at times. So clearly France has just such a large number of people being involved.
It is very refreshing to see any of them. Unfortunately, the only 2 French players at the playoffs lost yesterday, but they still have a very good chance at taking it.
They're both very strong players. We see UK, Netherlands, Italy all pretty close to each other. These are all expected. Obviously, we're in the Netherlands, so we're going to get a lot of players. And then UK and Italy are always 2 of the big showers. But clearly, they've fallen a bit behind France and Germany here.
Absolutely. But now, after we showed you last round the rough estimate for decks, we are able to even show you what it actually looks like. And to be honest, it is not that different from what we saw. Nothing too surprising. Salamangreat still standing at the top, and actually by a pretty good distance. It has almost 130 more than the second deck, which is Orchest. But I think Thunder Dragon picked up a few more slots, which is also understandable since yesterday we saw how good it is. For this round, what are they actually playing, though?
Okay, so for this round, it's similar to the previous round. We have Salamangreat with Rafael, who is clearly trying to become the Yugi Tube destroyer as he beat Nadir at UK Nationals, and now he is playing here. And then we also have another deck playing Double or Nothing, but it's not Sky Striker this round, it's Harpy Ladies.
It is not. If any of you guys home are actually familiar with Zulu channel, he is in love with Harpies. He played them at the French Nationals, where it is actually a successful deck. We saw it in top 64, which is quite impressive. The deck honestly has a lot of new tools. It is one of the oldest decks in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, for sure. It last saw prominence around the time of Dragon Rulers, where it was able to use Harpy's Pet Dragon to have access to those really powerful rank 7s in that format. Draco Sack, Big Eye.
Yeah. And I mean, it does go back to the first series of Yu-Gi-Oh! With May playing the deck. It is also on dueling. So it is one of those popular decks where people actually try. And it was actually successful at adapting. As you say, Utopia Double was very popular last weekend.
It's a really strong card.
And
it does a lot of damage.
It does. And we saw it in round 1. We saw that it can still win games. And I don't think anyone is preparing against RP. So I'm very excited to see if this goes well. Zulu did win the die roll.
Yes.
So let's see some Harpies play. Let's go to the table.
And for sure, I'm just so excited to see how this Harpy deck plays out. Obviously, you know, we both have been paying a lot of attention to the national championships. We saw Harpies topping French Nets, and you're kind of like, that's interesting, particularly when it's the largest nationals ever to happen in Europe. So, I mean, we're going to see. Does this Harpy deck live up to the hype, or is it going to struggle in its consistency? Because obviously, Salamangreat is very established. It's a very consistent deck.
Indeed.
It seems like a somewhat awkward hand because he has the double Phantasme. You can obviously only use one of them.
We're gonna see the RP channeler actually from Zulu. I want to call it like that at this point. I just love the name. It is one of the best opening cards for the deck. So Unfortunately for Rafael, the only entrap he has at the moment is Phantasmi, so it will not really be able to interact in the earlier stages.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
And here comes down the
Channeler?
Channeler. And Channeler has always been such an important card for this deck, right? Like, it is one of the core parts of what made it playable in the Dragon Ruler format. And obviously it has followed true and remains relevant now.
absolutely, like it does get punished by the newer entraps, being of course Impermanence, Ash, Veiler, but you still keep the monster. It's a level 4, so you can actually go for the Utopia double very easily with it. And I think it can steal a lot of wins like that. So you can expect Rafael to be reading pretty much every card from Louis. So,
Not only does he have Harpy Ladies, but he has Ultimate Rare Harpy Ladies.
yeah.
It's
they look
always nice to see.
beautiful, yeah.
Historic Sign is a card that he has access to, and I think it's quite an interesting card because the first effect lets you add Elegant Egotist from your deck or
Yeah.
graveyard to your hand. But the second effect, during the end phase that it's sent from the field or hand to the graveyard, you get to add up to 3 Harpy cards with different names from your deck to your hand. One card gets you 3 cards. That is so much value.
Yeah, I
right
still
there.
remember when this card was released, everyone was actually freaking out because we know how good Scar is, for example, in Burning Abyss.
Yeah.
And that only searches 1 card. Well, here you get actually 3, which
No, exactly.
is
It's-
ridiculous, honestly.
I mean, obviously he needs to get turns to play those cards, but Salamangreat doesn't end the game in one turn.
It doesn't, it doesn't.
Hunting Ground is also such an amazing card because it will give him the ability to destroy spells and trap cards and apply more pressure and force Rafael to activate his interaction before he wants to.
Yeah, it is one of those very good cards. You can see even in Speed Duel, I believe. So it's quite a powerful tool. And as you're saying, maybe not so much against combo decks, but just imagine playing against Sky Striker, for example, and getting to destroy that many cards with Hunting Ground.
Yeah, exactly. And even there are cards in this deck which are happy to be destroyed by the Hunting Ground as well, because Hunting Ground is a mandatory effect. So if it is the only card you have left, it will destroy itself.
And that is why we saw actually Zulu setting a card before. He will destroy his own Exteric Sign, and in the end phase he will get to search. So pretty nice opening here. Also, this deck has access to a Beast Dweller, which we've seen how good it is against most of the decks of the format, really. So.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, access to rank 4s is so difficult in this format, but they're so impactful. We see Abyss Dweller, we see Utopia being a really impactful card, and then you also have things like Baguska, which can be fringe.
Yeah, it seems like he's playing a few of those. He has some Raid Raptors madness as well, which we will hopefully see once we get to the side deck, but we don't want to spoil that yet, so...
Yeah, he does have Baguska. He also has Exciton Knight, which is a card that recently came back and we haven't seen much of, but it's such a strong card.
It was one of the, if not the best, rank 4 one when it was released, and I'm actually quite surprised that by how things change in Yu-Gi-Oh! A card could be so good and now even came back at 3 and not really being played, but I think it is one of those cards that once we get a rank 4 deck,
Yes.
It will
Once we get a
show.
rank 4 deck, it will be important. The decks at the moment require playing a lot of copies of their kind of core engine cards. So, like, you know, Salamangreat has to play 3 Sunlight Wolf and has to play 2 to 3 Baelings.
Yeah.
And so you quickly run out of space. Otherwise, like, Salamangreat would love to be playing a card like this. Because catch-up mechanisms, especially when Salamangreat can play from the graveyard, would be amazing. So here comes a new card, which we will bring up for you guys in a second.
yeah, it is quite a good option. It is basically works very well with the RP Hunting Ground, because it says that one of your RP is destroyed, you can special summon one more, and you can also destroy it with your own copy of Hunting Ground to get an additional effect. So you can see how there are many different cards in his deck. You can see here it's the Alluring Mirror Split.
Yeah.
So
Again, and we see the legendary duelist sets bring such interesting cards for popular old archetypes. You know, Cyber Dragons has gained cards from legendary duelist. Luring Mirror split here. I hear a lot of good things about Bingo Machine Go for the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, and it's also a bingo machine. Like, what more do you want from your trading card? But yeah, so this card seems quite good here. It looks like he's going for end phase Historic Sign effect.
Are you surprised at all? I mean, we do have to mention that the Perfumer actually has kind of a Kirin-like effect, which is basically allowing you to bounce back one of your Harpies and one of your opponent Harpies.
That's Harpist, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Perfumer... I would have been inclined to consider going into Baguska, perhaps.
I mean, even Dweller Blind is usually really good in this format. Like, I think the only deck that doesn't really lose that much to it is Sky Striker, but maybe it still hinders them just because of Area Zero or the Fusion Engrave.
Yeah. So not only is he getting 3 searches from the Historic Sign, but he's also getting a search from the Harpist.
And I'm pretty sure the trap is actually an end trap when you control multiple Harpies. We'll try to bring it out on the screen for you guys.
Bring up a lot of cards. Lots of reading this round, guys. If you control a winged beast monster until the end of this turn, negate any monster effects your opponent activates. If you control a Harpy monster, you can activate this card from your hand.
Yes.
That's bonkers.
It is
Why
very
am I not
good.
playing this card? And if it's destroyed, you can add one Harpy's Feather Duster from your deck or graveyard to hand, which sadly we do not have on in the TCG at the moment, but I believe over in OCG they currently have it at 1, right?
Yeah, they still have the card, and I actually remember it very well because I was playing after the World Championship at a local event, and I was playing exactly against this with Hysteric Sign, and in the end phase they did search the RP Feather Duster, and I was like, what is happening? Oops. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because for the longest time we had Raigeki and they had Feather Duster, but recently they got Raigeki printed in, I think, this year's starter deck in OCG. So maybe we might see Feather Duster soon and power up the Harpy deck more.
But yeah, such a powerful card, honestly. Like, it is something that most people wouldn't even know about, but the Feather Storm seems like it's very good.
I mean, clearly Andreas here is after masterfully playing around the Phantasme. You know, he saw the line, don't link summon. I like it. It's bold.
It is, and he got rewarded by it because Rafael was holding 2 copies of Phantasme. So
yeah. Foxy is a very good card. We see the Feather Storm coming down here. No surprise. Again, very impactful. Like, it just shuts down all monster effects.
That's absolutely insane.
It's bonkers.
I honestly didn't even know about the card, but
you don't get your Foxy, you don't get your Bailings, especially against Salamangreat, because while Salamangreat's spell and trap cards are really good, Salamangreat is dependent on its monster effects to get its kind of interaction pieces.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, most decks of the format are.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. I mean, except for Sky Striker.
Yeah, it's such a good card. Wow. Maybe.
Have we broken the format?
Yes.
Guys, pick up your Feather Storms now.
It makes me want to play it, to be fair.
I mean, it's a very cool deck. Although, if you're playing it, you need to have the retro pack Cyber Harpy Lady, right?
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, that's
you do, and
very rare card for people who are not aware.
Yeah, I remember it was the same with the pet when Dragosak was relevant. It was such a hard card to find, especially in like a near mint condition.
Exactly, and if you want it in a different language as well.
Yeah.
You know. Here comes an Elegant Egotist. Elegant Egotist, such a good card. I've been playing a decent bit of speed dueling, and in like the pre-constructed speed duel, when you see the Elegant Egotist but it's the Harpy Lady, you're just like, this is real good.
I've been playing it as well, and it is quite a cool deck. Yeah. You have some options. You can mix it up with Amazonas as well.
Exactly.
To get the,
Tribal Synergy?
Yeah.
Such a good skill.
Yeah.
But clearly, we've been missing out because we could have just been playing Harpies in Constructed. Here comes Harpy Lady 1. It's very important to be able to tell your Harpies apart by their haircut. That is one of the core dueling skills. and we see Hunting Ground coming down. It lets you negate, or it lets you destroy, and because it's a card activating its effect rather than the activation of a card, he can't even use his counter trap.
Yeah, Roar cannot be used. And you can see here Rafael, like, looking like, what is going on? Like, he lost round 1. I want to say most likely to more or less standard deck, we can assume. And now he's up against something that he didn't see coming. And honestly, I think it was such a good opener. Like, there are not many decks that can play around the Featherstorm. And
You see that? You see that Balinx right there?
yeah.
Do you see that Utopia double in
Oh yeah.
Andries extra deck? I'm not saying I see a line, but
Well, we can
I mean,
safely assume it. And
there is potentially enough damage on board already.
we are looking at 5 Harpies monsters in 2019 on the
Powerful.
field, and it is quite impressive.
Yeah. There could have been an argument for roaring the Elegant Egotist, but I don't know if that even matters here. We have...
Okay, now finally Phantasmi can be actually used.
But it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it will try to fish for an Entrop to negate the possible Utopia double. It doesn't get any Entrop, so unfortunately Rafael is not going to be able to get any. The Link Master we have on the field at the moment is one of those Link Masters that we have seen for attributes.
Yeah, so it's the attribute retrains. So this is the retrain of Bladefly, which was a rare in Metal Raiders, I believe.
Yes.
And just like, you know, I think Mastar Boy was the first one that we got, which was super relevant. Greatfly came out a bit later in Flames of Destruction. By the time we got to Flames of Destruction, we had Nightmares and we had a lot more access to the down left, down right arrows. But clearly in a deck like this, increases your entire board by 500 attack and defense. And if you're against an Earth player, then it decreases their board as well. So that's a lot of attack power on the board. Each of the Harpy Lady 1s giving an extra 300, and Greatfly giving 500. So that's 1,100 attack to all of the wind monsters.
I think the attributes links are very good, honestly, because now we did get a few generic ones, like the Lamp or the Beat Cop, but before we didn't really have ways to access a generic link to. Okay, we do not see the Utopia double, which I'm very surprised about.
I mean, sometimes you just don't need Utopia. Does he have game on board here? Each of these are gaining 1,100 attack.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure this is just game regardless.
But I would have liked to just see it, just
I
for
mean,
the
sure.
fun. But, I mean, yeah.
Next game we'll get to.
I mean, it makes sense to be playing around a possible Entrop for Phantasmi. Honestly, Rafael is holding a lot of cards, so there is a good chance that he did draw Veiler, I got Nash Blossom even, so...
yeah, I mean... Yeah, exactly. Like, you play around the Ash Blossom because it's something that Salamangreat does play. And there's also just something exciting about attacking for game with Harpy Lady.
Oh, it must feel nice.
Like, do you want one really big monster or a bunch of really big monsters?
I see you. Sure.
Like, these Harpy Ladies are almost as big as Blue Eyes right now. It's bonkers.
It is. And again, we are playing Constructed. So
Yeah, exactly.
guys, this is still the Constructed main event for the European Championship. You did not switch to a speed duel event. And regardless of what happens here, even if this is not enough damage, he still has an option to go into double rank 4 in Memphis 2, which is just so powerful.
Yeah. However, like we mentioned before, Rafael was able to beat a YouTuber at UK Nationals.
But yeah, it's still enough damage, so Luis takes the first game. Zulu, as we like to call him, Super Zulu, the French YouTuber, takes game 1. We're gonna move to the side decks with still a lot of time left in the round. And now, if you're Rafael, you must be confused and scared at the same time. What do you even side deck against this deck?
I mean, you have spell and trap removal, which could be considered. Cosmic Cyclone is quite good because it will banish the spells and traps, which means that they aren't going to be getting their effects. Other than that, consider bringing in Droll and Lockbird instead of Phantasme because we saw a lot of searching here. So being able to slow down the Harpy deck seems to be what I would be considering.
He does side Typhoon, which seems like a nice addition since we saw multiple spell and traps from Zulu.
But they all get effects when they're destroyed.
True, true.
So
Well,
he could consider it. I wouldn't be crazy about bringing it in, I don't think.
yeah, it doesn't, like, it completely matters if he knows what's going on. That's the problem. Like, you don't know what to expect. Like, sure, here you didn't even see any like XYZ play. You don't know that Utopia Double is there. Like, you don't know what's going on at all, essentially. You don't know if they might be siding in Anthrops or they might be siding in Floodgates.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You don't know what they're trying to achieve because you just know that they're able to summon a bunch of Harpy Ladies
Absolutely.
and beat you up with them.
And what does actually Zulu access to, in your opinion?
So, I mean, presumably he's expecting to go second. Evenly matched, he has a few copies of. That's a card that I would consider bringing in, particularly because he has so many cards that could potentially burn the Salamangreat Roar. So that way he will be able to just burn the Roar and then go evenly matched, simplify the board. Alternatively, he is playing Waking the Dragon, which could be considered.
Yeah.
Bring in a Tori Exterio.
Do you know what? He doesn't need to side deck though. He has Super Poly in the main deck, so that's gonna be another.
That is a very good card here.
Very good card against Salamangreat, and another way to push a lot of damage outside of Utopia Double. So
Yeah, I mean, Violet Chimera is like a little Utopia Double,
It
right?
is, it
and
is.
it turns off your opponent's counter trap because you just took their Link Monster.
many people call it one punch, man. So
Yep.
it is kind of the one punch for fusion monsters. So.
Super Polymerization is such a strong card, and it's such a Yu-Gi-Oh draw. You know, you see the player, they're stuck in a position, and they top deck the Super Poly and just break a board apart. Very satisfying. This is
Absolutely.
looking like a decent Salamangreat hand. We have access to Salamangreat Monster plus Gazelle, and because we're able to start with Foxy, we can hopefully grab a trap or a circle or some other point of interaction.
Yeah, actually, if you open like that, you do not need to go for the Foxy effect, because then you can just summon it from grave by discarding the Falco.
Yeah.
And you have quite a few options, so I would be surprised if he tried. Like, it would seem a little greedy to me, because then he still has access to the full combo. And the cute thing is, when you open Falco, you can actually summon a Foul with Stalio, bounce the Falco back to hand, and that way you get to special summon the Foul right away, and you have an Abyss Dweller ready, for example. So,
Does the Abyss Dweller do anything here?
I mean, you don't know. If you're Rafael, do you know? I don't know.
We haven't
You
studied
do-
Harpies enough.
Exactly. You do stop the cards in grave, like the Hysteric Sign, which is a fair
Yeah.
assumption. But
But he has the Ash Blossom for the Hysteric Sign. And the Hysteric Sign is obviously a lot worse when you are going second, because then you're getting the cards on turn 4 rather than turn 3, and that's quite a big difference.
yes, but no surprise here. Rafael is not greedy. He doesn't use Foxy, so now he is able to discard Falco to get back the Foxy and still combo off.
Yeah.
If he wants, as I was saying, he has the option to go for both the Ray and the rank 4. I believe he's going to do that, so pretty smart on Rafael.
Yeah, I think he's following the correct lines here.
Yeah, so here he can get the foul. He might do that. But as you're saying, maybe, yeah, he's gonna go for that play, so nice line here, but is it gonna be good against this deck? That's my question.
Does he have access to Baguska? Because Baguska seems really good in this matchup.
He doesn't, but at the same time he has Tornado Dragon, which is maybe fair enough if you don't exactly know what's going on.
I like Tornado because most of the pressure I would be expecting here is from cards like Harpies Hunting Ground, and I want to be able to protect my counter trap.
I do agree. But it is, in the end, a very good opening. You will be able to have either Abyss Dweller and Tornado plus the Rage and the Ash Blossom in hand. So very good opening here. One of the better ones for Salamangreat, really.
Yeah, against most of the fields here today, this is like ideal Salamangreat opening. We will just have to
Absolutely.
see whether or not it is ideal against Harpy ladies.
I mean, the Ash Blossom is definitely going to be good. We can see here that maybe the Tornado would have even been better to just destroy the RP hunting ground. But
Yeah. I think I would have liked the Tornado. We see Hunting Ground coming down. I think you just have to negate this here because alternatively, Zulu is able to just summon a Harpy Lady and he just clears the counter trap. And then the only point of interaction that Rafael will have from there is an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. And while Heatleo, our Sunlight Wolf is 1800, that's not very big when there are so many cards that let him increase the attack of his Harpy Ladies.
absolutely. But now he does set 1, which I am surprised about because it doesn't play very well around the Rage. And even though it is an Exotic sign, Abyss Dweller was resolved. So
Yeah.
it is not going to be a good lineup against what Rafael has. But because let's remember, Abyss Dweller does not say monsters. It negates spell and traps as well.
Exactly. It doesn't even negate, it prevents
Yeah,
the
it prevents the
activations.
activation, but yeah.
And we are discussing Harpy Hunting Ground here, I think.
Yeah, he's probably just asking what happens if that does not resolve, but he's gonna destroy both, so he could still be able to pop, but I'm pretty sure he did target that one. And unfortunately, as we were saying, Abyss Dweller is gonna shut down the sign. He's used the Perfumer, so he will be able to resolve at least the Perfumer effect, which
Grab Elegant
allows him
Egotist.
to get Egotist. So
Yeah. It's such a cool thing about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, and one of the reasons that I really love the game is it's super unique in the fact that you have cards like Elegant Egotist. We're seeing things like Thunder Dragon at this event, and like so many classic cards that have been around for like 15 plus years, and they're still playable. And like Egotist, Hunting Ground, these are both great cards in this Harpy Lady deck. And it's just such an excellent opportunity to always revisit old cards and say, hey, I liked this card once upon a time. Can I still play it? Is it still...
it is one of
Impactful.
the beauty of Yu-Gi-Oh! To be honest, that you can just keep using cards that you have having in your room for more than 10 years at the moment. So
Yeah. I mean, like we see Exciton Knight coming back here. You know, people have been playing around with cards like El Shaddai Construct.
yes,
You know, just because a card is on the Forbidden Unlimited list for a while doesn't mean it will be there forever. I know we have a few people playing Necros here at the event, which we will try and get a feature of at some point if they are doing well, because that is a
it did.
popular old
We
deck.
actually have a national champion
Yes.
here today that did win his event with Necrots. So
Yeah. Necros in 2019.
it's real.
Yeah. The deck's actually really interesting because you're able to play the Light Mega Monarch.
Yeah.
And
I think it doesn't line up like perfectly with what the format is at the moment,
No.
but it is definitely something that we shouldn't forget about, because I can totally see Necros doing very well in the future.
Yeah.
We have a lot of new additions to the deck. All the incantations cards are absolutely amazing, and we have
mean,
all of the preparations back.
Preparation of Rights is at 3.
Yeah.
And sure it is at 1, so...
And you have even the pre-preparation, which is also a
Yeah, pre-preparation of
insanely good
rights
card.
is crazy. Like, at some point, that card's going to be broken. I'm really sad. I really love... Are you familiar with Xenobirds?
Yes, I actually played against him a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's... The Xenobird ritual monsters are bonkers good.
They are. They work, especially with Amano Iwato, very well. He can create some nasty comebacks. So
I mean, non-targeted shuffling cards from field is amazing, and doing that with 3 cards. However,
yes,
are going to be
Rafael
shuffling
takes
cards.
game 2. So we are gonna go with basically 16 minutes left to a game 3. It's
Yeah.
1-1. Now we're probably gonna see Zulu going first in game 3 again. Hopefully, more Harpies players.
Yeah, obviously the Abyss Dweller was quite impactful in that game. We see Droll and Lockbird coming in, so that could also cause issues. But
yeah, my main concern is how do you prevent the Featherstorm? We saw in game 1 how good the card is, and unless you Ash Blossom the Hysteric Sign, there is no way to prevent it, I would say. So it is very scary, like Skill Drain, even better than Skill Drain. It prevents all monster effects from that turn. So Zulu can be like, sure, Dweller is powerful. What about something even better, just that prevents and negates every monster effect? It's such a good card.
yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy what these fringe decks have. Like, most players, if you tell them, hey, look, do you want access to a card which just shuts off all your opponent's monsters for a turn and is a hand trap? They'd kind of look at you and be like, that's not a real card.
Yeah.
But it is.
It is reminding me
and it's searchable.
The most of Shockmaster, basically. And
Yeah.
it is just as good.
I mean, there's a reason Shockmaster is forbidden.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that Shockmaster is one of the core cards in traditional format.
Yeah, but if you support the Unleash the Shock movement, let's say, you can definitely try and play the RP deck. It's getting there.
I mean, what is our stance on the whole Unleash the Shock?
I don't think it would be that good of an idea, but at the moment, I don't think it would be that bad at the same time.
Yeah, there's no deck which has like super easy access to level 4s.
Indeed.
But I don't think we need to unlock the Shock just right now. Especially when we have cool cards like this that get C-play instead.
I know it was like not forbidden in the OCG for the longest time, and it might not even be at the moment, I'm not sure, but...
Yeah, I think there's a general consensus, though, that OCG are much less likely to play cards that directly prevent things.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have the same issues with anti-spell fragrance and stuff. Also, having best of one format for YCSs over there doesn't really... It changes the format quite a lot.
It does. But now, ends are being drawn. Rafael doesn't see any end traps at all, and the Featherstorm is there. There are actually two, yeah. Plus Channeler, this end is amazing from Luis, Zulu, call him whoever he wants. And wow, it's looking very good into this game. So we're gonna see something similar to what we saw in game 1. Not as powerful as an end, but honestly, Featherstorm is all you need.
Yeah, I mean, Featherstorm plus a monster with over 1600 attack and you're probably good.
It is. I mean, how do you even play around that? And you can see when he's looking for his deck, he's siding in these copies of Awakening the Dragon, which is also something quite spooky. You can surprise your opponent out of nowhere, really blew them out of their water. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how good it is in this deck because your opponent already doesn't want to interact with your back row. I love Waking the Dragon in decks where you like resolve duality and you reveal the Waking the Dragon, and then just for the rest of the game your opponent's like, oh, I can't Twin Twister.
Yeah, and actually I'm just noticing something. We were surprised that both in game 1 and game 2 Rafael didn't see many end shots, but he's actually only maining Ash Blossom. He's the only Salamangreat player we have seen without Veiler or Impermanence in his deck, and it seems very odd, and unfortunately this is gonna come back to hurt him. He's only playing Ash, he's not even siding those cards, so he's not a fan of end traps apparently.
Yeah, it's very odd to not be committing to hand traps in this format, particularly as we know Thunder Dragon is more represented at this event.
Absolutely, but now, end phase, Appen, it doesn't seem like the strongest of boards, but,
but he has the Featherstorm.
You know what's good? Featherstorm is. And honestly, unless a red rebuff is there, there is not much you can do. Typhoon is picked up, it doesn't do anything at the moment.
It does absolutely zero. I mean, again, just Featherstorm being able to just skip the Salamangreat player's turn is insane. You can't even Gazelle. Like,
and the really good thing about it is that Denko Zekka does nothing against it, just because you can use it from the end, which is great.
Like, at worst, Harpies are going to lose one monster from this board, and that doesn't matter because Utopia Double is a card. And additionally, there's just another Feather Storm for the following turn. If we see Signet Mining come down here, do you just shotgun the Feather Storm?
I mean, the Feather Storm negates, so you can actually wait for an activation. You don't need to do it right away.
Oh, it doesn't even prevent activations.
No,
it just negates.
Yeah, so it's such a good card. So yeah, we're gonna see it come down here. Yes, he's just thinking about it, like what can even happen. And here, you can see the crowd going crazy.
We have a massive crowd here.
We have a massive crowd watching this.
This is as big a crowd as we had for the points playoffs. I assume we have a lot of French players in the crowd. I mean, at the same time, it's Harpy Ladies on feature match. How do you not watch that?
Absolutely. And you can see Rafael just being completely blown out of the water. Like, he's not sure about what he can even do here.
I mean, what can he do here? Set one, go?
The thing is, the card negates even not just the field one. You can't even Gazelle. It's such
exactly.
A strong
He can't
card.
go Balinx, Gazelle, and go into a Sunlight Wolf and beat over something.
But unfortunately, the Utopia, the double or nothing is picked up, which we would have liked to see, but it does not matter, honestly.
I don't think so.
Because there is a second Feather Storm in his hand.
We have another new card coming down, which is Harpy's Oracle.
Yes.
And again, this is from Legendary Duelist 4, which is the Sisters of the Rose, I believe. It has Harpies, it has Trains, it has all those good decks. Ooh, we might try to get some Trains later on, because that's always a lot of fun.
It is. It didn't quite work at UK Nationals, but it did for one game at least, so...
Yeah. I actually lost to Trains at a UK regional recently. If you Eagle Booster your Sky Striker Link, they just end the game because you just attack into it a million times.
And honestly, like, drawing double or nothing is not what you want to do, but you can still go into Utopia normally, and it is going to be 5,000 instead of 10,000, which is still, honestly, a pretty good amount of damage.
It's pretty sufficient on this board.
It is. So let's see what Zulu decides to go for. Okay, another old card here.
Oh, nice. Lightning Chidori.
Yes, Chidori comes down, such a powerful card. It has a double effect, so it can spin back both a set card and by detaching a face-up one. So it is a very, very good XYZ monster. It's one of the first one released back in the day, and it was quite impactful, especially in this deck when RP were relevant, so...
For sure. Yeah, it was actually like quite a sought-after card for a lot of time. And getting to put the Foxy to the top of the deck as well.
It's brutal, because as we were saying, the only thing that can happen against the Feather Storm is really a red Rebuke. And now he's guaranteed that Rafael can't even draw into it. We know that he doesn't even play it, so that was not an option, but Zulu must be feeling very confident right now.
Yeah, I think the only thing that he needs to be afraid of is something like Salamangreat Rage. But Chidori is offering a lot of kind of pressure on the board. So we'll have to see if Rafael is able to find an answer on this upcoming turn.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tough to do.
Like, the ball is very much in his court.
I mean, if you're Rafael, I don't think you even feel that bad, but now you don't know what's happening, so you don't expect him to have one more Feather Storm.
Yeah,
you just gotta
exactly.
hope.
Like, you can't play around opening double Feather Storm.
You definitely can't, and it is what it is. He's probably gonna be very sad to see this. Yeah, the crowd is going crazy.
I think this is what you call deja vu.
Yes, you can see Rafael smiling. Unfortunately, know what's going on. He's 0-1 walking into round 2, and he doesn't have any play. He's losing to Harpies. An incredible show right now from Zulu. The handshake comes down.
And the crowd goes wild.
We have rarely seen this much. Look at this.
Wow.
Such a reaction from the crowd. Zulu takes the game 2-1. Let's quickly go to a discussion.
Post-match. Ladies.
Yes.
Winning on live stream in Constructed. Not Speed Duel. This is just proper, just like summon a bunch of Harpies. Game 1, we saw Zulu manage to set up a board of 4 Harpies and a Great Fly and just say, I have loads of attack here.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Gonna beat you up.
Honestly, I gotta say I had Zulu as the underdog walking into this game, but it was mainly due to the fact that I did read the new monsters and spells, but I completely missed the Featherstorm. What a card! It is literally Shockmaster in 2019. Absolutely amazing. Like, what can you even do against that? Like,
I mean, play Sky Striker,
I guess, but amazing, amazing show. You can still hear the crowd going absolutely nuts for Zulu. Again, insane showing, great match. Rafael couldn't really do much. He just tried his best.
He tried his best, but double Featherstorm game 3, hard opened. He didn't even know they were there, and he just had a handful of monsters and a side net mining. That just doesn't do anything when your opponent's able to say, your monsters don't work this turn.
I don't know. I don't know what to say, honestly. I'm just so surprised. If you're a fan of Zulu Works, just wait for whatever he has to say in his interview with Oliver. It will be an amazing show. We have still a lot of matches for today, 6 more coming up. You can probably even check his YouTube channel after the event. I'm sure we'll talk about this. Yeah. Being on stream is huge for any player, even more for one of his caliber, you can say. Anyway, we have talked enough. I want to see what Zulu has to say about this match. Let's go to Oliver.
Yeah, we're back at the main event stage. I have to say this is one of the best things about Yu-Gi-Oh! You said at the very beginning, your English might not be that great, but you can communicate with cards. You can just make your moves, and then even if you don't speak English, people are like, wow, this is just crazy. So, what was that like in the feature match for you? How did it feel to win that match with Harpies? Don't see my mic.
Okay, sorry. I was very stressed by because it was my first feature match. But when I saw he played Salamangreat, I said me, okay, he play Salamangreat, and I have a good matchup in this matchup. So everything is possible. And I do my game. I fail sometimes, but it
worked out well.
Yeah,
it worked out really well for you. So, did you expect this? All of these people rooting for you, because I mean, you said you're a very big deal in France, and we heard that Marcello knows you. He says you should check out the YouTube channel. You have a lot of good content. Marcello said that as well. And now suddenly there's like 1 million people, more than they sometimes have for the finals, and they are all shouting Zulu, Zulu. Can we hear that one more time? So what is that like?
Hey, feel me. I'm very happy to see lot of French players here, and they support me. And it's I want to say thank you for all my fans and all of the French community and all Yu-Gi-Oh players. It's very fantastic.
If you want to greet them in French, is perfectly fine. You can throw out a French sentence if you want.
I don't understand.
No.
Sorry.
Do you want to tell them in French?
Oh.
In French.
Merci, vous êtes incroyable. Croyez en vos rêves, allez jusqu'au bout.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
What a feature match we've had. If we can keep this up for the rest of the day, the crowd is going to go crazy, and some other guys from the other venues are going to be coming in, because this is a very, very big meeting area, and asking, why are you causing earthquakes all day long? What's happening in this venue here? And we're going to tell them, you should try out Yu-Gi-Oh! That's going to be all the explanation you need. Guys, with that, we're going to take a very short break. Then we're going to be back with our round 3 feature match from the European Championship 2000.